Welcome to the yoga method and your vinyasa practice for today. Come and join me at the top of your mat as soon as you're ready, closing down your eyes, big toes touching, heels separated, cultivating your ujjayi breath. Setting an intention only if you wish. And I encourage you to drop into this idea of awareness without interpretation. As you feel your body, as you drop into this moment, taking one more full breath in. And on your exhalation, release your hands, opening your eyes. Surya Namaskar A. On the inhalation, let's reach, rise as we breathe in. On the exhalation, ease your way into your forward fold, releasing your head and shoulders last. Take a moment here to separate your feet. Catching the opposing elbow if the lower back does not need support, but still supporting through the avenue of the abdominal wall as we gently sway from side to side. Noticing the sensations without again judging or labeling, just experiencing these feelings. Taking one more breath, please, before embracing your stillness again. Tuck the chin, looking between your knees. A little shift into the balls of the feet. Press into the mounds of the big toe. And lift energetically through the abdominal wall. One more breath, please, before we gently release our hands and bring our big toes to touch again. On the in-breath, lift your heads, lift your hearts. And on the out-breath, stepping or hopping, transitioning through chaturanga on your knees or your toes. Take a baby cobra or an upward facing dog if the body's feeling ready before we lift ourselves up and back to downward facing dog. Spreading fingers, spreading toes as we gaze between the feet or between the knees. Always the invitation to bend your knees as much as you need. On the in-breath, cultivating length from fingertip to toe. And on the exhalation, building strength internally through pelvic floor mula bandha. Taking 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, bend your knees, look where you're going, walking or hopping if you're ready, lift and lengthen. Exhale, pour your way into your forward fold. Rising to extended mountain, be powerful through your foundation. Before coming home to your heart center, Samastitihi. Inhaling, circle and sweep, grow tall. On the out breath, leading with your heart, releasing your head and shoulders last, looking to your knees. On the in breath, hands to shins or fingertips to floor. Before stepping or hopping, transitioning through your chaturanga dandasana. Energize and open to Urdhva Mukha before propelling the hips up and back, Adho Mukha. Resting in child's pose anytime you need a little breather through our practice. And finding just the perfect modifications for you in each posture. Taking 2 more breaths. One more full goodbye breath in and out. On the in-breath, to the tips of the toes will rise. Bend your knees to prepare. Walking or hopping, we lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Rising to extended mountain. Circling hands home to heart center, Samastitihi. Come into Utkatasana, chair pose. So let's bend the knees, touch the floor, and make sure the weight is in your heels. And then reaching the hands forward. So big toes are together. Maybe the knees are squeezing in. And if your lower back needs some support, just pop your hands on your thighs. Finding breath. Finding strength. Taking one more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, ease your way into your forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins or fingertips to floor before stepping or hopping. And let's just freeze in our high plank. Left knee to the earth, spin, and rolling onto your left hand. Variation 1, side plank, knee stays grounded. Option 2, split your stance. And variation 3, stack up your feet. Pressing down firmly in order to lift and elevate through the top side of the body. Gazing skywards if the balance will allow. Last 2 breaths. One more, please. Before gently landing, take a chaturanga. Energize and open, flip the feet or slide over top. Before we just move up and back down dog. Ripple your way forward. Pause, right knee down, spin. Variation 1, staying on the knee. Option 2, split our stance, and that final variation of stacking the feet. Gazing skywards to add that extra little challenge. Taking 2 more breaths. One more as you stretch the skin across your heart, landing the body, taking your chaturanga, finding expansion through front body before we lift up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg is rising. Please leave your pelvis level. So bend your right knee if you need. Press firmly into your hands, send the weight back, and gazing at your right big toe. Take 2 more breaths as you feel, I'm hoping, a glorious hamstring stretch through the right leg, and you'll also feel your calf and your Achilles. One more breath. Before we rise to the tips of the toes, step between our hands and release our right knee. Crawl up onto your left thigh, tuck your tailbone, and then in your own time, I'd love for you to explore your ankle mobility, knee mobility, and hip mobility. Just creating a little bit of warmth by deepening into this posture. So your core is on, your right glute is active, and the torso is staying stationary, and the movement is happening through the knee, the ankle, and the hip. As we shift forward one more time, we'll stay. Left hand on the thigh, right hand reaching high. Press with your left hand into your knee to create some traction in the femur and the hip. And then exaggerate the front body opening by reaching with your right hand. Maybe gazing up, taking 2 more breaths. One more, please. And when you're ready, releasing that hand to the earth, we're shifting back into a half Hanumanasana. Draw the toes up on the left foot. So in this shape, if it's feeling like the floor is too far away, hands to your hips or your thigh. Variation 2, we're bringing our right hand to the earth. Everybody draw your left hip back. And the final option to take some rotation as we reach the left hand high. If your balance will allow, please turn your eye gaze to your left thumb. One more breath, exaggerate the length globally before releasing your hand, framing your foot. Shift the weight, ground your hands, pick up your back knee, slide to your high plank, and travel through your chaturanga. Open front body by energizing back, and then lift up and back down dog. It is your right leg that's rising to a 3-legged dog, but you're keeping your pelvis level. Press into your hands, gazing at your left big toe. Press energetically through your right foot. One more breath in to lift to the tips of the toes. Please land softly, if you can, and release your knee. Hands crawling up, ears stacking over shoulder, shoulders stacking over top of the pelvis. And then we simply begin to move in and out, taking our ankle into dorsiflexion, our knee into flexion, and opening up our left hip into extension. One more time as we drift forward, and then taking left hand high, Tuck your tailbone, so a posterior pelvic tilt. Energize through your left glute, through your core, and lifting the eye gaze. Last 2 breaths, opening front body, opening your left hip flexor. Easing your way out of that shape. Ground the left hand. Begin to lengthen through your right leg. Toes to the nose. Variation 1 will come a little bit higher. Option 2, left hand to the earth. And that final option to explore rotation if the body feels warm enough and ready. Please draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Press down in order to lift upwards. One more breath in before we gently release the hand. Ground through our right foot, lift through our left knee. Step your feet together at the top of the mat as we breathe in. Flat back extension, exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees to your chair pose, taking Utkatasana. Option 1, hands on your thighs. Variation 2, reach. And variation 3, I'd love for you to come to the tips of your toes, please. Balancing, energizing, but most importantly, strengthening through the feet, through the ankles, through the knees, through the hips, and all of the muscles that support those joints. One more full breath in, and on the exhalation, pouring into your forward fold. On the in-breath, lifting heads, lifting hearts, before stepping or hopping, freezing, left knee down. Spin one more time into your side plank. Option 1, 2 is our split stance, 3 is stacking feet, and 4, picking up through your top leg. Stay and breathe for 3. Doesn't matter how high you lift the leg. For 2. One more breath before we release. Take your chaturanga on the exhalation. Knees or toes. Squeeze the heels to the midline. Be powerful through your legs. Up and back. Down dog. Please ripple your way forward into high plank. Landing through your right. Spin. Stacking before deciding whether you're moving to variation 2, 3, or 4. Steady eyes, steady breath. 2 more, please. One more celebration breath out. Chaturanga or resting in child's pose. Feeling the expansion across the heart before lifting up to your downward dog. Your left leg is rising once again, but we'll open through the pelvis, squaring your shoulders and gazing at your right big toe, lengthening and lifting and strengthening for 2 more. One more breath in and out. We're looking to the tips of the toes. We're rising and stepping through. We'll leave the back leg elevated this time. Option 1, keep your hands on the earth. And variation 2, play with spreading your wings. Option 3, interlace your fingers. Knuckles reach for the wall behind you. Loop the shoulders up, back, and down. So deepen into your left knee. Charge your right leg straight and strong. Just 2 more breaths. One more, please, before we all meet with our fingertips on the earth. Shift your weight back. Move into pyramid pose, lifting the toes just as we did in first round. So option to bring your hands to your thighs, to keep both hands on the earth, or to ground through the right. Explore rotation again by reaching your left hand high. Eye gaze where it feels safe but challenging. Last 3 breaths. One more, please, before we gently ground the hand, bend the front knee, pivot the back foot, and move to your warrior 2. Just staying for 2 breaths as we find strength in the legs, deepening into the posture. One more breath in and out. Please lengthen through your front leg. Just move towards the back of your mat into a supported Skandasana. Option 1, hands on the thighs. Variation 2, hands on the earth. Variation 3, we're lowering and exploring a diagonal through that arm. Right hand down, left hand high. 3 breaths to stay. For 2. And for 1. Ground into the earth. Lift through the pelvis. Pivot all the way back to the top of your mat. And then lifting into a supported warrior 3. So your left foot's on the earth. Your right leg is elevated. Hands on the floor or hands to your heart center. 3 breaths to stay. For 2. 1 more, please, before grounding the hand, grounding your back leg, and slide to your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, front body opening, back bending, up and back, down dog. Right leg is rising, shoulders are square. So really firmly exaggerate the pressure through the right hand. And then find your right glutes to lift and lengthen through your right leg. Last 2 breaths. Ready? Lift to the tips of your left toes. Step between your hands, leaving that back knee elevated. So right knee and right ankle are aligned. And then we're pressing into our back thigh. Option to keep hands on earth. To experiment with lifting the arms or to reach the hands behind you. Wherever you are, finding that internal strength, connection to your breath, and steadiness in the eyes. 1 more breath before we gently release our hands and take our version of pyramid pose. So option 1, you'll keep the foot grounded and your hands will rest on your shin or your thighs. Variation 2, hands on the earth, maybe picking up through your right foot. And the final option of exploring rotation with your left hand down, right hand high, turning the eye gaze if it feels safe. Stay and breathe for 3. For 2. 1 more breath in before gently releasing your hand. Pivot your back heel. It's a warrior 2 that you're coming to just briefly. So hip and knee aligned, knee over ankle through the right side, and then press really dynamically into the pinky toe side of your left foot. Just 1 more breath. Before you reach high, pivot your right toes in and turning to your Skandasana with your left knee bending. Option to keep your hands on your knee to the floor. Sorry about my back to you. And then spinning your toes to ceiling if it feels like there's room. Left hand down, right hand high. One more breath together. Before grounding our hands, pivoting towards the top of the mat and taking your warrior 3. Bend into your standing leg as much as you need. Pelvis is level if we can. And then final variation, embracing the wobbles, picking up the hands for 3 breaths. For 2. We've got it. 1 more breath before releasing the hands, the feet, the head, the efforts on your out breath. On the inhalation, hands to shins or fingertips to floor. Please come one last time to your Utkatasana, reaching your hands forward, maybe coming to the tips of the toes. Belly strong. 1 more. And then I'd love for you to play with opening through the knee joint while you're still balancing on the tips of your toes. So a little external rotation through the hips before we land the hands. In this shape, you're welcome to take a seat. Variation 2, we're just staying here, working on opening through the hips and lengthening through the spine. And variation 3, we're moving into our arm balance. So we pick up through the pelvis, we spread our fingers, we shift the weight forward till we feel our knees touch the back of our arms, our triceps. Eyes stay lifted, and we can play with one foot lifting for a moment. And then we could rest, lift the pelvis again, shift the weight, and pick up through our left foot for a breath or two. And only if it feels right, both toes lift. They search for each other. We press firmly into our fingers. Last 2 breaths. And gently landing when the time is right. Everyone lift your pelvis, release your head and shoulders. Walk your way back to your downward facing dog. Left leg is rising once more. We're bending the knee this time. Pressing the foot towards the right. Stamping down through the left hand. Gazing at the right big toe. Just one more breath. We're moving to pigeon pose, but an active pigeon pose. So lift to the tips of your right toes and come through with your left leg. What I mean by active is I'd like for you to tuck your right toes, power into your right thigh, and lift through the heart. So we're not collapsing down at all. We're lifting skywards, using the muscles in our left hip and using our quadriceps, hamstrings, to lengthen our right leg. Technically just the quad, straighten the knee, not the hamstring. And then finally opening through your throat. Check your shoulder position. A little retraction and depression for one more breath before we gently release the knee. Sit on the left hip and bring your right leg around. Ground into your left foot. Reach your hands forward, take a little hinge back, and then inhaling just to a 45, exhaling to lower. We'll do 4 more. Full breath in, shoulders down, heart open. Exhale to release. Last 3. For 2. And for 1. Can we stay at the top? Yes, we can. Breathe in, and on the exhalation, reach your right arm on a diagonal. Come back, feeling the quadricep and the hip flexor fatiguing. Oh, last 2, please. A little exhalation to open. Inhale to return. One more time. Shaky legs are good things. Right. Pause and hold before releasing down. Once you arrive there safely, bring your right hand to the floor, left hand high. And on the out-breath, ease your way forward towards the big toe side of your foot. Hug your left knee into your left shoulder. Create a gentle pull with the left hand, a gentle push with the right. Pardon me. Last 3 breaths. As you gaze at your big toe. Just one more as you are. Please feel free to stay here, enjoying your stretch. Option 2, we're still stretching, but we're adding a dynamic element to it by lifting the pelvis off the floor. So option 1, right hand down, left hand holding right foot. And variation 2, maybe both hands are reaching for the foot. 3 breaths. For 2. One more breath in before landing your right hand and landing your pelvis. Reach your right hand behind you. Lift high with your left. Option 1, just open through the front body. Variation 2, you'll dynamically lift. Get onto the tips of your left toes. Right toes reaching for the floor. Left fingertips for the ceiling. So whatever is underneath you, push into it. And then find some lightness through the top side of the body for one more breath in before gently, slowly releasing out. A gentle twist before we start this sequence on the other side. Right hand hugging into left knee. Left hand on the earth supporting you. And then gazing over your left shoulder. Please draw the toes back on the right foot. Be powerful through your right thigh. One more breath. Ready? Return your eye gaze as you breathe in. On the exhalation, release your twist. Point your toes on your right foot and see if you can lower all the way down to the earth. Once you're there safely, right leg high, head is grounded. Feel the four corners of your left foot. Please tuck your tailbone, energize pelvic floor and your abdominals, and lifting to a single leg bridge. So option 1, both feet on the floor. Variation 2, staying as you are. And variation 3, coming to the tips of your toes on your left foot. Shoulder blades press into your mat by broadening through your collarbones. Press into your hands. And feel your left hamstring and your left glutes while your quadriceps straightens and lengthens your right leg. One more breath in. And as we ripple our way down to the floor, we'll just take a brief moment to come into a gentle hamstring stretch on the right leg. 3 breaths with either your left knee bent or your left leg going long. We'll bend through the left knee first. We'll release the right. Please gather the knees to your chest for a moment. Cross your ankles. Rock and roll. Maybe you'll take a couple. But as soon as you're ready, we'll tuck the feet or swing the legs around and transition through a vinyasa, baby cobra, or upward facing dog before we lift up and back, downward facing dog. So our right leg rises one last time. We're bending into our right knee, pressing the right foot to the left, but that also requires more focus through your right hand. So press powerfully into the hands, gaze at your left big toe, and feel your right glutes lifting and opening your right hip. One more breath if it feels good before transitioning to an active pigeon pose. So right leg moves through, make any adjustments that you need, and then tuck your left toes, power into your left thigh so much that your knee lifts off the floor. And then at the same time, we're lifting actively through the right hip, opening through the front of the torso, through the front of the throat, staying and breathing for 3 breaths. One more expansive breath before gently landing, taking a seat on the right, swinging our left leg around. And once we've arrived there, right foot is on the floor. Please reach your hands forward, point your left foot, and then ease back slightly till you feel a good core connection without any compromise in your posture. On the in-breath, lift through your left leg. On the exhale, gently lower. Reset posture and core. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last 2. And then the fun part. One more, we stay and hold for the exhalation. And then we open on a diagonal. Inhale to return. Oh, exhaling to open on a diagonal. Inhale to return. Last two. Embracing the shakes. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale to close before releasing the leg. Sit tall, grounding with your left hand, reaching with your right. And we're aiming for the big toe side of the foot. That might mean we bend this left knee. So finding the connection through the four corners of your right foot. Hug your right knee to your right shoulder. A little gentle pull with the right hand. A very subtle push with the left. Gazing at our left big toe. Just one more. Before the option to stay grounded. Variation 2, you lift by pressing into your right foot and your left hand, holding with your right hand, and then that final option, maybe, of taking your left hand to your foot as well. 3 breaths. For 2. One more breath before we gently and slowly land left hand and the hip. Please ground with your right hand, reach high with your left. Press firmly into your right foot. Option 1, stay exactly as you are. Variation 2, just a little lift. And we're moving into the expression that really feels good. So could you lift the tips of your right toes? Could you reach a little more deliberately into your left hand? Taking 2 more breaths into this modified wild thing. One more breath, please, before gently, slowly easing your way back down to the floor. Grounding for a moment, taking a gentle twist as we look over our right shoulder. Right hand presses down. And we use our arms, our core, and our breath to recruit the rotation. One more, please. Our eyes return. We release the twist. And we're lowering onto our backs. So ripple your way down. And once you're there, grounding through your hands, grounding through the four corners of your right foot. Tuck your tailbone, energize your core, and begin to lift skywards. So we can always do both feet on the floor, single leg rising for variation 2. And then maybe coming onto the tips of your toes on the right foot. So please press down, really open the chest, the torso. The hamstrings and the glutes and the calves are working through the right side. And your quadriceps lengthening your left leg. Last 2 breaths. One more, please, before we ease our way down to the earth. Keep the shape. Hands move to your left hamstring or your left calf. Right knee remains bent or lengthening through your right leg. Tuck your chin in. Relax your neck and your shoulders. 3 breaths to stay. Just one last breath. Before bending your right knee, bending your left, gather your knees in. Take a moment just to pause. Rocking gently from side to side. Before coming into just a very gentle restorative inversion, our happy baby pose. So ankles and knees are stacking. Tailbone is heavy, shoulders are relaxed. We're pulling down with the hands And with equal determination, we're pressing back with the feet, inviting a gentle movement into the body if it feels wonderful to you. Existence without interpretation. Just feeling the body, feeling the sensations the stretch presents, without any judgments, without any labels, without any interpretation. Just feel your body. One more breath before seeking stillness. Hugging our knees home, gently grounding our feet, and spreading our wings wide. We'll shift the pelvis slightly to the left. The knees will travel to the right. And please take any variation that you prefer. So arm modifications, leg options. Once again, I invite you just to feel your body. Notice the messages, whether it is asking for more or less. And then breathe fully and deeply. One more breath. Before gently releasing back to the midline. A little shift to your right with the hips. A gentle, slow, patient rotation to your left. Pose the question, what does my body want? And then please just honor the response, modifying the shape through the arms, through the legs. And we embrace and create abundance consciousness the moment we pause to practice gratitude. From the day that has just been, what are you grateful for? From the week that has just been, the month, this year. One more breath. Before gently restacking the knees, using the core, coming home, and if there's anything else your body is craving, please take it. And if you're ready to move into stillness just for a few moments, just join me in Shavasana. If your back is sore at all, your knees will come together with your feet wide. Option to lengthen the legs. And pregnancy option, we roll to the right. We roll to the left. Getting any last little wiggles out of the way. Steady your eyes on the back of your forehead with your eyes closed. And just run your awareness over the body. From the crown of the head, over the face, to your shoulders, down the length of your arms, running the awareness down your torso to your pelvis, and all the way down the length of your legs to the tips of your toes. As always, we celebrate our bodies, we celebrate our efforts. As long as you are on your mat, you are on the path. As long as you're on your mat, you're on the path. Beautiful yogis, with your eyes remaining closed, you will stay for as long as you wish in your Shavasana. And if you are ready to return to your day, you'll begin to stoke your inner fire, lift your energy by deepening your breath. And just notice that we can remain centered within our own space as we expand our awareness. We can remain calm and relaxed at the same time that we re-energize. We'll invite movement, mindful movement, into our fingers, our toes, our wrists, our ankles, our shoulders, and our necks. If space will allow and your shoulders will allow, you might reach your arms overhead and take a full big body on from fingertip to toe. Before bending your knees one at a time, sliding your arms down and around. Gather your knees to your hearts. Hug yourselves lovingly. Rock your bodies very gently. And we roll to the right hand side with our eyes remaining closed, just lingering for one deep breath before rising to a seated position. Any position that feels wonderful to our bodies as we consciously lengthen through our spine, grow tall into the space above us, and bring our hands to our hearts center. Finding one last unified breath together before we close our practice with a bow. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful crew. Look forward to seeing you soon.